Hey everybody, it's Mr. Cinema Junkie with day 32, or day 2 of the bonus days, depending on how you look at it, of the Movie a Day Challenge. I'm going to make this short and sweet. Well, I'm going to try to anyway. Day 32 is asking us a movie that scared us as a child. Doesn't have to be horror. So I'm going to touch on both bases there. Now, you all know my favorite movie from day 30, which was Phantasm. It was the first movie that scared me and made me lose sleep, but it wasn't the first movie to ever scare me. I believe the first movie that ever really scared me as a child was the movie Salem's Lot. Now, I know a couple of people look at it and go, that movie's not even scary, but I was a child at the time when it came out, very, very small child. And the story about when I first saw it, I was visiting family in Texas. We live in a very rural area. There were no streetlights at the time, and we had a house at the top of the hill. Um, the road was sandy. It was very dark. No sidewalks. Uh, Pretty creepy. And I was down the hill at my uncle's watching the movie with them, and got all into it, and we're having a great time until it was time for me to go home. And I started to walk up that hill and noticed how dark it was, and I couldn't see past a certain point. Um, I started to freak out a little bit. So when I tried to turn around and go back, just to see if anybody would walk with me, the wind started blowing really bad. And it reminded me of the scene in the movie where the wind was blowing and the brothers got separated and one of them got taken away, and I froze. I couldn't move. So that movie scared me pretty bad as a child because of that. The other movie that scared me as a child, and the whole thing wasn't scary, but it was just certain key elements of the movie. Um, well, there's two of them actually that were not horror, but scared me. One, I was way too young to really comprehend what was going on in the movie, but it freaked me out. And a lot of my cousins who also saw the movie when they were young, they also got freaked out. To this day, we talk to each other and say, "What were our parents thinking, taking us to see this movie?" And the movie I'm talking about is Tommy. It's the musical, the movie by The Who. Yeah, Tommy. The opening scene is like a big long nightmare. It has the weird synthesizer music and just strange imagery and dancing girls in gas masks, and the body of a small child is found, and the weird music, and just too much for my little mind to comprehend. I started to trip out really bad, and I remember just asking my mom if we could please leave. I remember it being way too loud and way too, like, it jacked with my brain too much, and I was telling my mother if we could just go, can we please go? And she didn't want to leave, but we left. We left about 3 minutes into the movie. Kind of freaked me out. I don't know if it really scared me as much as it freaked me out, but it had an effect. The other non-horror movie, and again, there were just certain elements of it that tripped me out really bad. Well, no, actually, this one did scare me because of the lady in it. Just freaked me out. Bette Davis. It was the movie Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. The scene where she's singing "I'm Writing a Letter to Daddy" when she's an old lady and she sees herself in the mirror, all decrepit and old and everything. Oh man, that unnerved me so bad. And then the fact that she was trying to feed her sister her parakeet and rats and all that stuff. Yeah, that was pretty tripped out. And then that stark black and white, man, it just kind of made it even creepier. So those are the ones that kind of did it for me. The non-horror titles was because I was so young and really didn't get what was going on. Plus, Bette Davis as that chick was pretty creepy in itself. So, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane and Tommy were the two non-horror titles that messed with my little mind when I was a child. And Salem's Lot, because that was my first experience in fourth dimension, 4D experience. I went outside and the wind was blowing just like in the movie. I thought they were coming to get me. Whew. So, there you go. Day 32 said and done. Here comes day 33.